Rangers win, baby. 2-1 over the New Jersey Devils. Way better game tonight than last night. Again, I understand everyone that's trying to tell me to calm down. It's just a preseason. Look, I get it, but there are certain things that they can't do carrying into the regular season that they did in that preseason game last night, quite frankly, and they need to clean things up, and tonight they played a way better game, whether that's because Artemi Panarin was in the lineup, whether that's because Gallant made adjustments tonight, whatever that may be. There was a lot more great that happened tonight, and I don't think that's a secret. You look at the way they played, especially in the first period. You look at the shot total. Tonight, they played a lot better, and we're going to talk about it. Before we do, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're a Ranger fan. It's going to cover the Rangers here all season long. And turn on your notifications so you know when I upload next. But let's talk about this one. And this was definitely a lot better of a game, especially the start. The start of this game, are you kidding me? You couldn't ask for a better start. The first period, well, you could have actually, but we'll talk about that. First period, the Rangers had chance after chance after chance. Panarin looking really good, looking better than he did all playoff long. Is that because it's preseason and it's AHL guys? I don't know. Or is it because Panarin worked in the offseason? Who knows? But hopefully there's some combination of both there, because he wasn't effective in the playoffs. So let's just be honest with it. And he looked very good tonight, which we'll talk about further in depth. But yeah, he's setting up Barclay Goodrow in front of the net, setting up Philip Hedl having a game, which we'll talk about. The only problem in the first period is that the Rangers just did not score. They outshot the Devils, like 17-2 in that first period or something like that. And they just couldn't bury one. Julian Gauthier getting a lot of great chances. Rangers got a power play at the end of that period, and carrying it into the next period, couldn't do anything. And unfortunately, right after that power play was killed off, Jack Hughes ends up scoring from Andre Palat, and that makes it a 1-0 game. And this just sucked because Zach Jones made a great defensive play right before this to break up a play. And Schneider, though, unfortunately skating like a headless chicken. And yeah, Jack Hughes left wide open, and that makes it a 1-0 game. And Andre Palat, I hate that I have to root against him, but that made it 1-0. And the Rangers still look pretty sharp for the most part. I mean, this game, like I said, there was a lot to like. Louis Domingue made a couple decent saves. Granted, he didn't have to, but he did make some pretty good saves here and there. And they still looked pretty good. Again, Gauthier getting chances. You had Philip Hedl doing a spinorama move, and they just couldn't buy one. They couldn't bury one. And we go to the third period, and the Rangers finally get one somewhat early in the third. It's Artemi Panarin from Braden Schneider and Vitaly Kravtsov. A beautiful feed from Braden Schneider across the ice, and Panarin buries that one, blocker side. That makes it a 1-1 game. And the Rangers, again, they look great all night, moving the puck. They were in the offensive zone pretty much the entire game. And it led to another goal. And Keandre Miller just throws one on net. Hunt and Riedel with the assist, which, we'll talk about Riedel in this one. But that made it a 2-1 game as it deflected off of two Devil players. And again, the Rangers they kept their foot on the gas. They look great. And there wasn't a whole lot to be upset about, in my opinion, with this one. So, yeah, Rangers win this one. VC almost getting an empty netter, but ends up being a 2-1 game. Blackwood, though, he had the game of his life, making just unbelievable saves. And I don't know what it is about Mackenzie Blackwood, but he seems to have the Rangers number, or he just doesn't like our jerseys. I don't know what, but every time we play against him, it feels like he kicks into another gear. And chill, it's the preseason, Blackwood. But shots in the game, 37-26 in favor of the Rangers. Faceoffs, 53-47 in favor of the Devils. Neither team capitalizing on their power play opportunities. 14 hits for the Devils, 12 for the Rangers. Not really a physical game at all until the end. There was a little bit of physicality there. Block shots, 15 for the Devils, 9 for the Rangers. And giveaways, 9 for the Rangers, 10 for the Devils. Let's talk about each player, though. Artemi Panarin, first game of the preseason, and he looked absolutely unreal. Scoring that beautiful goal, sniping that one between the blocker and the pad. Beautiful goal there, and he was just moving the puck so well. Looked absolutely great. Making a couple defensive plays too, which is something that he kind of hinted that he wanted to do more heading into the season. You heard him saying he wanted to be more of his Columbus self, and I alluded that to better defensive play and not trying to cheat the game, because let's be real, there were times last year where Panarin, He would jump too far up in the rush. He would be lazy on the back check, whatever it may be. He just was not contributing defensively. And tonight, he definitely looked a lot better in that regard. He was making some nice plays. So, yeah, Artemi Panarin, great game from him. He was probably the best player tonight. Julian Gauthier, Julian, man. 5 shots on goal. Couldn't get even a point tonight. The guy cannot buy one. He gets one right in front of the net. I think it was Dryden Hunt that just fed it to him right in front of the net. Couldn't bury that one. Had a snipe. Right, he had a wide open chance to snipe one on a 2-on-1. Misses it, and he just couldn't bury. He couldn't bury it tonight. He couldn't bury it tonight. Great game, but here's the problem with Gauthier. Again, we've had this problem, and with Gauthier, I thought at some point it's got to give, right? At some point it's got to, but he just hasn't been able to capitalize on these chances that he gets, and it's just very unfortunate. And there's a time where it gets to a point where you just can't play him if he's going to keep missing these chances. But Julian Gauthier still had a solid game for the most part. Gustav Riedel, he needs to be in the opening night lineup. Got an apple tonight, and he's just all over the ice. Threw 2 hits, but his defensive play, I mean, in the neutral zone, some of these plays that he was making, absolutely unreal. And in the defensive zone, too, just a great game from Gustav Riedel. I think that he needs to be on the opening night roster, and I think he needs to be on the 4th line, playing with whether it's Barclay Goodrow, Sammy Blais, Barclay Goodrow, Dryden Hunt, Barclay Goodrow, Ryan Reeves, whoever it may be. He needs to be on that 4th line. Gustav Riedel, I'm loving his preseason. Barclay Goodrow getting in his first preseason action here. 2 shots on goal. Unfortunate that he couldn't bury either of them because it was right in front of the net, but he still had a pretty solid game in his first game back. Didn't do anything too noticeable, but it's not like he was horrendous or anything. So that's what Barclay Goodrow does. Goes under the radar there. So I'm pretty content with his performance. Ryan Carpenter, I've been underwhelmed with him for the majority of preseason. 42% in the faceoff dot. Goodrow going 36%. Not too great there. But Carpenter, I'm a little underwhelmed. He had a couple good defensive plays tonight, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it enough. And Gustav Riedel, I think, it's just really won over that spot. I really think he's won over that spot. And Carpenter thankfully signed the league min where you could afford to have him as a healthy scratch if you want to, but I'm not seeing it with Carpenter. I really am not so far. VC definitely went a little more unnoticeable tonight than we've seen him all preseason long. The end, he made a beautiful stick play to stop Jack Hughes, I think it was, backdoor on an opportunity there. Jimmy VC, definitely not one of his better games of the preseason, but he still was okay. Dryden Hunt, decent game for him. 2 shots on goal. Ended up getting a point in this one. Decent game. Definitely his best preseason game, but nothing too outstanding. Was making a couple nice passes, setting up Gauthier for a couple chances to not bury. But I thought Hunt had a decent game. Will Coley, okay. A better game, but I don't know if he's NHL ready, unfortunately. Threw a couple hits tonight. Looked pretty solid defensively, too. But I don't think he's NHL ready. I don't. And it's sad to say, but I'd imagine he's going to be in the next round of demotions to Hartford. But it's okay. He still has room to improve. He's still a younger player. We'll see what happens. But it's not like he played a terrible game. Philip Hedl, great game for him. 3 hits on the night, which is something unusual. 69% in the faceoff dot. Nice. And he had 5 shots on goal again, having that spin around. Playing with Panarin, I mean, Hedl just getting chance after chance, and you have to wonder if maybe the Rangers try out Philip Hedl centering Kravtsov and Panarin throughout the season, because think of how much versatility that gives you throughout your lineup, playing Trocheck as your 3rd line center. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but if you have that, I mean, who do teams send their matchup line out against? Because you have so many different options there. If you're the Rangers, you could deploy Kreider and Zibanejad, or you could get Panarin out there with Hedl and Kravtsov, or you could get Trocheck out there with Kakko or Lafreniere, whoever he's playing with. Just gives you more options, something to look into. I thought Hedl played a great game, though. Kravtsov, very great game from him as well. Well, I shouldn't say very great. There were a couple chances I didn't like that he got, a couple shots that you need him to bury, but a better game, I should say. A better game, got a point. I looked at the point and I said, great game. My apologies there. Didn't play a great game, played a better game, but I still would like to see more. Having that no-look pass in the first period, I think it was, where led to an odd man rush the other way. Jones has to make a beautiful defensive play to stop that one. Can't be doing stuff like that. You can't. Ryan Reeves, kind of unnoticeable. He had a chance actually right in the slot, though, that I thought he was going to bury. 3 shots on goal. Very unusual for him, but decent game from Reeves. Nothing too noticeable, though. Brzezinski, was he Ryan Strome tonight with the open net chances that he missed? I mean, 4 shots on goal, and he missed every single chance that he got. A couple wide open nets there, too. 71% in the faceoff dot, I guess, is a positive there, but yeah, not too pretty when it comes to trying to bury one for Johnny Brzezinski. And then for the defense, Tenorti, not great. Took a late penalty that I didn't like, and he's a traffic cone out there, man. He's a traffic cone. Not going to touch too much on Tenorti. Zach Jones, he needs to be on the opening night roster. He needs to. Some of the defensive plays that he made tonight, absolutely unreal. He's probably the best player, actually, of the night. I might take it back for Panarin, but you have to at least give him best defenseman of the night. And I know it's tough considering there is another guy who we'll talk about. But, I mean, Zach Jones was unreal tonight with some of these plays that he was making. Just Adam Fox-like, with the way that he's moving, with the puck, bringing it into the zone, with the way that he's walking the blue line, the way he's making some of these defensive plays. Just absolutely unreal game from Zach Jones. Love what I saw there. And if he hasn't won that last defensive spot role, I don't know what it's going to take for him to win it, because he looked absolutely unreal. Trouba, solid game for him. 3 shots on goal, 2 block shots. Played a pretty solid game. There was one play where I'm like, all right, let's not jump too far up in the rush. And I think it was Hughes that got that breakaway there. And I think he went crossbar on that one. That might have been that play, but Jacob Trouba went a little too far up on the rush there. Outside of that, thought he played a solid game. Not much to say there. Bortowski played a better game than he did yesterday, but still wasn't great. Not going to touch too much there. Schneider, aside from how he played on that Jack Hughes goal, still played a solid game. Him and Jones need to be the third defensive pair. Schneider and Jones complement each other so well. Love what I saw there. And then the defenseman that I thought maybe you'd give best defenseman to was Keandre Miller, who, of course, scored that goal. 4 shots on goal. And the way that he has been, I mean, he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid if he keeps this up. He has been unreal. The way that he's moving the puck, too. And the way that he's making some of these defensive plays, absolutely unreal. Keandre Miller has been great. I can't say enough good things. I really can't. But I'll leave it at that. He played another great game. Yaroslav Halak, great game from him, stopping all 15 shots that he faced. Love what I saw from him. And he made a couple challenging saves, especially late in the game. So nice to see Halak get in there looking nice. And yeah, I mean, he's your backup. You need him to be effective. So like what I saw there. And then Louis Domingue, who got the start, which I thought was interesting, stopping 10 on 11 shots. Thought he played a solid game. I can't really fault him too much for that goal that he allowed to Jack Hughes. That was just one where your defense needs to do a better job there. At the same time, maybe could have had it, but I'm not going to, get on Louis Domingue too much there for it. And the defense definitely made his life a lot easier tonight. That is for sure. But overall, definitely a way better game than the previous 2, especially better than last night. But yeah, now you have 2 more preseason games left. We have a couple of days off here. They don't play until October 5th against the Boston Bruins, and then you have one more game against the Islanders on the 8th, and then it's already opening night. So it's getting down the wire here. We're going to get a good idea of what the roster is going to look like as we get down to it here. So we'll see what's going to happen here. But overall, pretty happy with what I saw tonight. Hopefully that is a sign for good things to come. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this game in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you did enjoy, leave a like on it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload next, and I will see you in the next one. Let's go, Rangers.